Hello, Facebook. I am back with our special January Lunch and Learn series, Building a Team. I'm so excited. For those of you who are like, who is this lady? Who is this chick? I am Ms. Jennifer Pink, the CEO and lead strategist for Thumbprint Collective. We are your full service branding, marketing, and business management collective. Um, Keep it real, keep it short, keep it sweet. We are all about helping Black businesses grow and scale to the next level. I can talk one day, I will. We are serious about being the team that you need to do that, right? Coaches, consultants, they're all great because you need them and you need the knowledge, but who gonna do the work? Not you. Like, let's just keep it real, not you. So that is why we are starting the year off talking about building a team. Because, like I said earlier, this whole solopreneur thing, it ain't it. Like, it ain't it. We should stop doing it now. Just stop. I don't know. Go do something else because that ain't it. So I invited some amazing HR pros, and I mean, it helps that they look like us, right? To come and talk about what it is to build a team. Because it sounds good in theory, but then like I gotta hire people and I'm probably gonna have to fire people. And how do I train the people? Like, it's just a whole lot. Like, how do you even do that? So I'm so excited because right now we are joined by Joy. I love her Instagram name, the Joy You Need, right? Like, for real. Yeah. That's her, from HR for the Culture. So Joy, tell them a little bit about who you are, what you do. Give them the 411 before we even get started.
Hey, y'all. So my name is Joy, and I am an HR strategist. I am a CEO of HR for the Culture. So we are a Black-owned HR firm supporting Black-owned businesses, providing them with the strategies and implementation support that they need to build, lead, and manage dope teams, right? And dope for us is dependable, optimal, productive, and engaged teams. So who I am, and outside of what I do, because I'm learning to define who I am and what I do as separate things, right? So I am just a Black girl out here trying to make her impact in the world. I'm extremely people-centered. I love people, and I want to see people win. I specifically want to see our community win. And because Black women are taking the lead in entrepreneurship in our communities, helping Black women navigate what it is to really stand up as CEOs in their businesses and build profitable and sustainable 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, run it up, right? Figure businesses is what my goal is. And so while marketing and while finance and all those things are important, a lot of our businesses suffer and struggle longer than they have to because Black women are taught to be the bearers of all the things, right? We carry the things and we do all the things. And so that, while it makes us really effective many times in our careers, it makes us the staples in our homes, the backbones of our community, I believe, it also handicaps us in business because we do not know how to get help, right? And how to really think about help from the beginning. And so I am on a mission to make sure that no Black girl is ever again overworked and underpaid as the CEO of her own organization. And so that's what I'm out here to do. And so we are here to talk about building team. I am so grateful every time Jennifer gives me an opportunity to come on this platform and to share with her amazing community. I don't take it lightly when people curate community and then allow you to be centered in that space. So thank you. And let's get to work, girl. Let's get to work.
Yes, as always. Look, if y'all don't know, just know Joy is it. Like, she is it. Like, for real, for real. She's unapologetic about us, right? And she's about to fix us. Like, what more could you ask for? Like, what more could you ask for? Now, Joy, like, I think I'll speak for myself, right? Because I ain't gonna speak for y'all. If y'all want to speak, drop it in the comments. Like, she'll answer your questions, as long as you don't get too crazy. But I think for me, the hardest part about building my team is, and I'm just gonna be really gut honest, is I don't have any more me's in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's only one Jennifer. And so as I've been going through this process, I'm like, I don't understand. Like, that should be a no-brainer.
Okay.
But I've learned from, being around you, like, let's just be real, being around you, that it's actually my fault because I didn't even really tell them what I wanted or what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't lay the expectations out like clear. Like, I was just like, this is what Jennifer would do. So that's what everybody should do, right? Yeah, no, it didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
So
You
how
know,
should we build a team?
so one of the things that I wanted to like pinpoint is that we pride ourselves in being original and authentic and unique, and ain't nobody like us, and trendsetters and all that stuff until we start building a team. And then all of a sudden we want clones. Right? If we think about it, some of us won't tell nobody where we get our hair done. We won't tell nobody where we got our outfit from because we don't want to just find out. We don't want to walk into ourselves in a hair salon. We don't want nobody wearing our dress. But all of a sudden, we get into these businesses and we want to clone. And the one thing that I want every person on here to understand, if you walk away with nothing else, understand that you're not hiring people, or you're not in business to hire people. You're hiring people to be in business, right? And so the idea then is, if your goal is that I'm hiring people to stay in sustainable business, then you have to do the work to understand what sustainable business looks like for you in your industry, right? So there's the you and there's the business. What do I need for me to be sustainable? And then what do I need to then put into my business for my business to also be sustainable, right? And so when we start thinking about it from that perspective, the truth of the matter is that 34 U's does not make a sustainable business, because that means that the business is contained to your skill set and your level of expertise only. And if we be really honest, there's a whole bunch of stuff we ain't good at. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's not in our wheelhouse. And so if I have a team of people that only can do what I can do, my business is actually stagnant. It's not sustainable and it won't grow. So it's ideally taking a step back to own leadership in a way that says, I need to understand how I best function. Right. And many of us, we function under duress. We function under stress. We function under trauma response. We function out of necessity. We function out of if I don't do it, nobody else will. I remember saying some time ago, if I fall, I can't fall apart because there's nobody to put me back together. I remember like feeling that way. And the truth of the matter is, so many of us are just bearing down and functioning, but we have not thought about how we function optimally. When am I my best self, right? What things am I working on when I am shining and feeling confident and feeling good and feeling great? If you haven't noticed, this is my jam, right? My ability to talk to people, to have conversations, to train, to teach. So even in my business model, I've looked more at what does 2020 look like from a perspective of me training and doing more of these kinds of things where I'm giving out knowledge. But we have to stop and say, listen, I'm not going to be a trauma response business. I'm actually thinking about what does my business need sustainably. That is actually the foundation for building team. So it's okay to say I'm disorganized. And so whoever I bring into my team needs to be organized. I don't need another disorganized me. I'm hyper emotional. So I need somebody that's logical, right? I'm a great marketer. I'm not a great salesperson. I'm great at putting the visibility, but I'm not great at closing. So I need somebody that can do that. I don't like people like that. So I need somebody that's extremely people centered so I can be extremely process driven. Like, you need to be thinking about where your weak areas are, and your team should be allowing you to be your best self while also keeping the business operating in its best self, right? So you got two entities that you're trying to make sure are operating optimally. And I hope that helps, is that sometimes we're thinking, what's the job description? No, start with the science behind it. The science behind it is that every stage in my business, I'm hiring so that I can show up as my best self. And some of that is going to start with the maid you won't hire to clean your house, the dog walker you won't bring in to walk your dog, right? We keep going to VAs and operations managers, and that's great. But some of our lives are so disjuncted, and we don't even bring support into our lives, that we could do more in our businesses if we weren't worried about who's going to wash the dishes, right? So we have to start thinking about our team is not just the team that serves clients only. Who is the team that we are building to serve us in a capacity so that we can show up the best for the people that are looking for us? And that's a foundational piece. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts, but I think the mindset part and how we are framing the conversation is going to empower us to really think more strategically on the back end about who it is that we're looking to partner with us as we grow.
I think, like, we could end the live because that was like, I don't think people really, no, seriously, I don't think people understand, because I know in the beginning, I didn't realize all that, right? And now I overly realize it to the point where I avoid things that are going to distract my energy, suck up my and I'm a for y'all that know, I'm a parent. I have 4 kids. I will avoid dealing with stuff with my kids because I'm like, I won't be able to come back.
Right.
It'll be over. So I'm like, nope, I got to wait till tomorrow, whatever. And I've had to put in my business like days where like I'm not doing anything else but my kids in my life because I ain't gonna be able to switch. Like I just had to get real. I can't switch back and forth because my energy is sucked up or my time is sucked up or kids is crazy, spouses is crazy. Like let's just keep it real. Like people is crazy, right? So I think that is a big piece because if we hire, and it's not just in our business, but like you said, in our lives, if we hire people that can come in and take care of the things that we don't have to do so that we have more time, more energy, and we're able to operate as our best selves.
Yes.
Like, stop trying to do all your social media. like just get it away already. Yeah. And then don't micromanage who you hire. Like, just handle this because that's not your best self. Like, it's not. Because if it was, you wouldn't be struggling to do it. Like,
the thing that you do, I think that we normalize struggle. So we will forego the thing that we do effortlessly. Talking to myself. To struggle in the thing that is not our jam, right? Last night I sat up on Entreport till about 5 a.m. trying to figure out how to send out an email. That ain't my jam, right? And it was poor planning on my part. I was in an event and felt compelled to create something for the community based on some of the questions that were asked. So I put something together. And so I'm doing the pieces on the back end to not overtax my team because it was a last minute thought. But what if I spent all my time trying to build sales pages as opposed to showing up in the space where this is where I shine the best? And my business grows better when I'm in the space I'm supposed to be in, right? I feel more confident. I'm less resentful of my team. We don't talk about that. I'm not hating on their lives when my life is in a good place, right? So I think that's important. Now, here's the other part. And I mentioned it just now. We have to plan better so that we can build better team. Oftentimes what's happening is that we are caught off guard by our own success. So, and I asked a question, I did a presentation this weekend and I said, 33%, 34%, actually it's 35% of Black owned business owners, right? Black business owners go into business to be their own bosses. So if my whole purpose for going into business was to manage myself, then at the moment that I'm managing myself, I've reached my goal, right? On the back end, we're pulled into conversations about community growth and development, economic, what generational and dynastic wealth. Like, we're pulled into those conversations on the back end. And so we're having them. But our actual motive when most of us left our jobs or started doing entrepreneurship was that we were really, most of us, responding to trauma. Somebody didn't give us the promotion. Somebody didn't give us the raise. We got burnt out. We got laid off. Something happened and we wanted to control our own destiny. And so we now start trying to control us and everybody else, right? Because we're still operating from a place where something was taken from us, right? And we don't necessarily process well. So it is important for us, even as entrepreneurs, to do a reset before we start hiring team to make sure that our motivation is clear, right? That now I'm out here and I know I got something lucrative. I know I have something that the world needs, right? I'm feeling myself. I'm pulling my value back together. My self-esteem is rising. Am I now taking that and translating it into building an effective team to continue to move this thing forward, right? Or owning, I just want to be a self-employed person. I don't want to be a full-fledged entrepreneur. I don't want to build a business. I just want to be self-employed. So I'm literally just putting a couple people around me to manage my emails, right? If that's what it is. But if you're looking to build something sustainable, we have to do better things. One of the things that I think that we miss in this team hiring thing is that we're not doing our annual planning. Right? So we're not planning annually. We're not planning quarterly. We're letting success catch us off guard. We just kind of riding the wave of the business. We acting like we got lucky when somebody pay us. And then on the back end, we trying to figure out, okay, now how do I throw people into this mix? You started something. What does success look like? I want every person that watches this now or catches the replay, right? When you get off this, because you can't do it now, you're gonna miss the other content. But take a moment, close your eyes, and imagine a successful day in your business. If it's a restaurant, what does a successful day look like? Okay. If your successful day is 50 people in the restaurant, right? Do all parts of the day. You never have a lull where like seats are empty. Everybody's food is cooked to order. Customer service is happening effectively. Like if that's your day, you start reverse engineering what's necessary for that to happen. So for there to be 50 people in the restaurant, I need a wait staff. For there to be 50 people in a restaurant receiving their food on time, I need cooks. I need menus. I need to be clear about what genre of food I'm serving. But also, I need enough food. I need enough people, right? I need enough tables. I need enough chairs. What happens is that we start restaurants, and I'm using a restaurant as an analogy. I start a restaurant. I got the tables and I got the chairs. But then if I open the doors and 50 people come in and sit down, now I'm standing there like, oh, I got to feed them. What did you think would happen? Did you actually plan for the success that you said you wanted when you went into your business? So if you plan for your success, then the expense around team, the expense around marketing, the expense around ads, the expense around all this stuff that goes in sustainable business ain't gonna keep catching you off guard. But we keep getting caught off guard like we never actually expected this thing to work. Right? So when you like,
probably didn't.
I gotta hire people, yes, that should have always been the plan. Oh, I got to do marketing and social media. Yes. How's we supposed to know who you are? Oh, I got to spend money. Yes. Because you can't make money without making an investment. So we start thinking about that part. It's literally owning your success. I don't know if anybody else on here is a believer. I am. And the Bible has a scripture that really just says faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Right? What that literally is saying is that faith makes the thing that you are hoping for and the thing that you cannot see tangible, because evidence is tangible, right? Substance is tangible. It takes your vision, it takes your mission, it takes your idea and makes it so tangible to you that you start operating in a way as if it already existed. So my question when I hear people struggling with team and struggling with hiring and struggling with paces is, did you even have faith in your own business? Was it ever real enough to you? Was it ever really tangible? Did you have evidence and substance enough? Did you believe in it ever enough to know that it had to get to this level? That it was going to get to a place where it was going to need more than you? And that this is the next reasonable step. This is the next step that made sense because you already knew, right, that this thing that you were birthed to do, this mission, this vision that you're carrying, this thing that's amazing, gotta work because too many people need it. Too many people need to connect with it, right? So it has to work. And am I prepared? Did I ever believe it was going to work? And so that's the part that we have to go back to our belief systems and really own. You know what? When I started this, I was hoping it would work. I wished it would work. I thought maybe it could work, but I didn't own that it would work. And we have to realign our mindsets so that now we're like, no, this is working. I got my evidence, I got my substance, and it's going to position me to start doing things in the vein of, because it's working, this is the natural next step. So then you quiet your mind, you get yourself together, you know you're going to spend some coin, you know you do those things, and then you say, okay, so now what is the strategy? Right? Because I already knew. So I know success is coming. Now, what is my strategy to manage my success? Your business, if I be honest with y'all, it's nothing other than the systems and processes that you put in place to manage the success that you know is coming. That's really what the business is. So the people you hire, the systems you employ, the tech you purchase, all that stuff, it's nothing more than you making evidence and substance of the success, the thing that you hope for, the things you didn't see. It's going to manifest when you set up the structures, right? But if you're going to sit out here and flail as an individual contributor, we're going to talk about job descriptions in a minute, but some of us ain't stuck because of a job description. You can Google that. It is the mindset, it's the belief around our businesses that has us stuck. It's the belief that I don't know if I'm going to make this money back. You got to make this money back. I don't know if people are going to buy it. They got to buy it, right? They need it. So it's your job to not question whether they'll buy it enough or if this person is going to make money. It's your job to figure out how to position them to do it because you know it's there. right? You know it's there. If I pull up if I have something in my house and I know I left it there, I'm not walking around hoping it's there. I'm looking for it because I know it's there. So we are literally, your business, your processes, your people, your systems is literally the thing that you put in place to manage the success that you know is coming. Right. And so then it becomes less of a burden and it's more of a responsibility to find the right fit. So if the first person you hire don't work out, we're not going back to I'm not trusting people and I'm not hiring nobody else. And the person came in my business and they took my piece of paper and they wasn't grateful. And we're not doing that because we still got success to manage. So we let that person go ahead about their business and get back to managing our success. We got to find the right person. Right. And that part is uber, uber, uber important. Once you are clear that success is not an option, now you think about who do I need to partner with to be successful. So back to that restaurant model. No 50 people sit in the restaurant eat my good food. So then I know I need a waiter. I know I need somebody managing the reservations. I know I need somebody to greet the people. I know I'm going to need people to cook the food. I know I need people that's going to put the food on the table, right? And you start to know what you need. And now your only responsibility is to identify how you stagger out funding, creating the capacity to bring those things in. So maybe your 50-person restaurant is only going to seat 5 people in the beginning. And you're going to master seating 5 people at a time. You're going to build the team that you need to serve 5 people. And once you're able to serve those 5 people at a time, you have your blueprint. Now you add 5 more people and you just need 1 more of everything that you needed to manage 5. Now you double that. Now you just need 1 more. That's how you build it back, right? But at the point that you only got 5 people, you don't need a person managing reservations if nobody's in the restaurant yet. Or maybe at the stage that you got 5 people, the person managing the reservations and the person serving the table can be the same person until you build up enough where the volume is big enough for you to need both, right? You being overwhelmed is not something that you hire for. Normalize the fact that as an entrepreneur, you are going to work a lot. So the goal is that as the business gets bigger, you don't drown in the work. The goal is that as you clarify, you get more money, you buy away or you work on higher level things. You work on the business development, you work on the ideation, but you don't go into entrepreneurship because you ain't want to work. If you ain't want to work, then you go on public assistance. You don't build a business because you ain't want to work. Remember, when you said you wanted to build a business, you did it to be your own boss, but there was an expectation that work would take place. So these people that's selling you that they sitting on the beach, sipping Mai Tais and doing all the things, most of that is a lie. They're selling you a lifestyle to make you buy into what it was that you want them to believe. I have 7-figure clients. The event I came out of this weekend, Lamar and Ronnie Tyler, they run a very profitable business. They ain't sitting on the beach every day. Yes, they take vacations. Yes, they do those things, but they work very hard. The people that I know, they are grinding. Right? Because it takes time for your business to get to the point where it operates fully without you doing the things. Now, do you have to never sleep? I don't believe in team no sleep. Now, I've been team no sleep. I've had no sleep days, but I'm not striving to be on team no sleep. Right? Those are the things we have to think about. We make it so big and we make it like this thing that we got to get right coming out the gate. You won't. Normalize that it will break. Normalize that somebody's going to complain every so often. Normalize that it's not going to be perfect. And you keep building anyway. Right? So I'm going to pause there. I can talk for a long time without even breathing. But I'm going to take a pause for a second.
If you keep dropping gems, we're going to just let you keep talking though. Like, I mean, everything you said, like literally, I think that, we get into business because we want to be the CEO and we want, that top level. And for some reason, we somewhere along the line said, oh yeah, they just sit on the beach and chill and we do all the work and they collect all the money. Number one, for them to even have gotten to that point, do you know how much work they had to do or how much money they had when they went into this thing, right? Like that took a whole lot of money, a whole lot of money. Number two, I don't know any high level CEO that spends less time working. Like I don't know any. Like even the ones we glorify, right? Like the Oprah, the Tyler Perry, like that man is always working. Like I don't know what y'all looking at, but yeah, he got money, he got nice things, he takes nice trips, but he always working, right? Like I don't know where that came from, but I want you to. I want you to dig a little bit into how to build that team,
Sure.
right? Because I think you done hurt their feelings enough.
That wasn't my intention to hurt nobody's feelings. I mean, so how do you build a team? So the first thing, and if I can give you steps, is what I would tell you to do. First thing I want you to do is time block. What are you doing every day? Hold yourself accountable to your own time. So from the time you wake up and start working in the business, even if you literally say from 9 to 10, take your notes pad, 9 to 10 worked on such and such, 10 to 11, even if that's what you do, find a way to block your time and try to do it for a whole week. Once you block that time, and I'm going to say this part, I want you to first identify that you have to make time to do the stuff that you need to build team. So if you like, I ain't got time to time block, then log off. Because everything I'm going to tell you to do is going to require some time from you, right? And then we can talk about how you can expedite that time, right? By working with somebody directly or whatever. I can talk about those things too. But it's going to take time. Whether you pay somebody to work, do it with you. If you pay somebody to do it for, it's going to take time. So you need to go in understanding, what am I doing every day? That's number one. The second thing that I want you to start doing is, once you've identified what you're doing every day, name it something. So the time that you're spending working on emails, I want you to name that your email marketing time or your admin time. The time that you're spending managing invoices and payroll, whatever, that's your finance time block. The time that you're spending doing customer service, right? All this other stuff. You got to think about, this is that time. Like you literally have to take that time and block and call it something and put a name on it. The next thing you're going to do is, after you have blocked out all the time and you've named that time something, right? If you can't come up with the real names, call it apples, oranges, bananas, grapes. I don't care what you call it, but name it something and hold yourself accountable to, this is the time and the effort and energy that I'm putting into the business. The next thing you're going to do is, you are going to assign a dollar value, whether it be hourly, annually, whatever it is, to that bit of work. And the reason that's going to be important is that most of us can't get to the team part. We can't afford them. And the reason we can't afford them is because we haven't priced as if we were building a team. So you have to, from the beginning, assign a dollar value to that work. So in the work I do, sometimes I was customer service when I started. Sometimes I was a sales rep. Sometimes I was the email marketer. Sometimes I was the HR consultant. So my HR consulting hours had a dollar value to it. My customer service, reasonable, right? I can't say as a CEO, because I'm doing customer service, it's worth $150 an hour. It's not. It's minimum wage, right? Like, align the stuff where it is for the sales time. So align a reasonable number to it, so that when you start thinking about, when I produce a cup of juice, or when I run a Facebook ad campaign, or whatever it is, it takes this many of my hours at this amount of money to allocate to it. And what starts to happen is that if you allocate it that way, you'll begin to look at, within what it is that you start producing, where you can bring in other people and pay them. Because we have to be committed as Black folks to not lowball each other because we don't charge our own value, or because we didn't do the research. If another person asks me to speak on something or to do something for $1 and a sunflower seed, because they don't charge effectively for the tickets and all that other, we are literally impoverishing our community because we don't take the time to understand pricing. Every time I ask a person of color to, I don't care how many jobs you think you're trying to make for Black folks, every time I ask a Black person to work beneath their value because I won't price effectively, I am literally bringing poverty into my own community. Ooh. Under the guise of empowerment. I want you to hear that. When you don't price effectively, you are bringing poverty into the community under the guise of empowerment. So if you are offering 6-figure jobs to people and asking them to do 5 figures and earn 5 figures doing 6-figure work because you are not charging effectively, you are bringing poverty into the community. You are reinforcing the idea that our labor is not valuable. So it is your responsibility as a Black entrepreneur, right, that is trying to employ Black folks to price effectively and pay people a fair wage. Period. Plain blank. The end. So if you're going to do that, right, the important piece of that then is to say, if I am pricing effectively, I'm going to be able to build team from the beginning. So people ask me, well, how did you start building a team? I priced my first contract effectively. I looked at the hours that I assessed, and it wasn't as accurate as it could have been, but I assessed how much time am I going to spend servicing this person? What is this going to look like? And if I'm wearing this hat and this hat and this hat, I at least got to give one hat away. So I added the pricing of the hats to the service and was able to hire from our first contract. Now, I'm saying this because I already knew the science. It's what I did for 16 years before coming into this. I know I only look 16, but I've been out here for a while. So I know that this is what I did. Like I worked in corporate space, so we had to figure out what was our compensation plan, like all that stuff. So I knew how to do it. That's why I'm telling y'all, that is the biggest piece. We're building team that we can't afford because our pricing models are bad, right? If you're going to be doing a product, you need to include labor in the cost of the product. It's not just the cost of the bottle and the cost of the liquid and the mailing cost. It's the cost of the person that has to put the liquid in the bottle. So at the moment that you're squeezing liquid in bottles, you need to be factoring in the cost of that labor at the rate for that amount of labor into what it is you're doing, not just how much money you want to walk away and put in your pocket. Okay? Because if you only got enough to put in your pocket, you're never going to have enough to pay nobody. Okay? So that's the second part. So the first step is you're going to look at what it is that you are doing all the time. You're going to time block, you're going to name it something, right? You're going to name the things that you're doing a thing, and then you're going to assign a dollar value to that thing. And then you're going to go back and say, based on this is how much it takes me to produce a widget, a watch it, an hour of services. And you're going to build that into your pricing structure. And then you're going to be positioned to then say, now I've prepared for the people that I want to join me. I have the resources, right? I have enough to give them to bring in, even if it's a couple hours a day. Then what you can start doing is confidently looking to hire folks because you've prepared for them. What we cannot do is hire people out of our own overwhelm, because what that means is that we didn't prepare for them. And normally at the point that we're drowning, we neither have the time nor the financial resources to bring people in effectively. And so we bring them in and immediately they got to make their value back. The day they got to sell, they got to run up the bag the day they show up. No, these people should get 90 days to figure out, to look around the room and figure out where they at. You should have the time to be able to invest in them, to really bring them into, that's the disconnect, right? So it's not, we're not out here struggling because of a lack of job descriptions. It's because we are not preparing for the thing that we are saying that we are going out to actually do. We're not owning that this is going to be successful. And so in order for it to work, these are the things that I must be doing as a leader. Your job as a CEO is to be the visionary, yes, but it's also to make sure that people get paid, to make sure that business is being developed. That is your job, right? And so if we're not doing it thoughtfully, that's the problem. So now a lot of us would be out of the pickle we were in if we could afford the people. Because then the rest of it becomes a no-brainer. Okay, I know who I need because I went ahead and time blocked. And I wrote down all the stuff that I'm doing all the time. So I know what roles I need to fill. I can now pay the people to do those roles because I built their pricing into actually my service or product model. Now all I got to do is figure out the recruiting space, get a good job description, and then work on my culture, work on those internal pieces. But most of us can't get there because we didn't do those first steps correctly. Mm-hmm. Right, I'm gonna pause there, but if I could, and no matter where you're at in your business right now, it's not too late for you to hit a reset and do this process. Because if you're not willing to hit the reset, you'll be stuck, or you'll be trying to take out 1 million loans, or you'll be bringing in people and overwhelming them, or you'll be bringing in people and stressing them out, or you'll be hiring people and then having them do lower level work, excuse me, than they should be doing. You want to bring in people that are going to be dependable, optimal, right? Productive, engaged. We're talking about building dope teams, not mediocre teams, not little team, little mamsy-pamsy, cute team. Dope teams, dependable, optimal, productive, and engaged people. How do we do that if we're not paying them correctly and we're not able to tell them what they need to do when they show up and we're not giving them time to get onboarded and learn their craft?
Exactly. Exactly. And I think I will say for myself, I did that, right? Like I hired out of overwhelm. I knew all the tasks I were doing. I knew all the people, but I wasn't priced to actually bring those people in. So then I just was like, I'm paying people to do the job and now I'm making $0. So then I'm like, okay, wait, maybe I need to fire you. So I can like, and it was like a pull of back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And so I finally was like, it's time to up the price so that I can pay them and pay me. And now I'm at the point, okay, we need to hire somebody else because I don't need to manage this no more. Y'all, this needs to be managed by somebody else. I just want to come in and do this one piece. And then we're going to get to the point where I don't even come in and do that piece. Like, and I think that's what people need to understand. Like, if, like she said, you know, I've worked with companies and when I did a price analysis, I'm like, you're not charging enough. Like, you didn't even cover the mail. You didn't even cover the label, right? Because so many times we're looking at it like, oh, the labels cost me $100. That's great. But how much is it for each label? How many labels do you need per jar? That jar needs to have that 25 cents for the label included in the price of the jar. Like, and it becomes that penny pinching, so to speak, because you can't do anything until you count all the pennies. But if y'all have questions,
that's the thing, is that we're not holding ourselves accountable to not just count the pennies, but to also, I worked in retail, 200% markup, 300% markup on sneakers, on these things, and we won't even double our prices. And if we do double our prices, which I want to hold us accountable to, we double our prices so we can buy more Gucci. And that's so we can elevate the quality of the services and the products that we're providing. Some people won't give us their money because we increase the price so we can live better, but not increase the quality of the service that we're giving them. So I don't want to pay you $40 for a $10 service experience. Or $80 for something, and the jar look like you went to Target and got the little travel jars and put a little sticky on it. And now I'm supposed to pay you $1,000 because you're telling me that it's juices and berries inside that I should be paying for. No, create the aesthetic that makes me feel good about my purchase experience. I wear glasses. You buy good glasses, the case gonna be nice. The little rag that they wipe the glasses off, that stuff has nothing to do with the functionality of the glasses. I don't see better because of the case. But they know that if they're gonna charge you $1,000 and $2,000 for a pair of designer frames, and then they're gonna give it to you in a baggie, you're not gonna want it.
I remember the first time I bought cheap glasses and got them in the baggie. I said, "What's this?
What's this?" You was offended.
Where's the case? They was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, ooh."
We have to be logical. Be in your business and also be a consumer at the same time. Would you buy this? Like, look at your stuff honestly. What would I pay for this? You buy an Apple product. I don't know what they charge for it, but the way you walk in the store, how you engage it, the box is basic, but it's clean, it's sturdy. You get an Apple box, that box is like it's gonna last you the rest of your life.
It lasts longer.
You almost puncture your skin trying to break down the Apple box. Like, they've invested in the quality of the packaging. You never walk in a dirty Apple store. It's basic, it's simple, but it's clean. Are we creating those experiences, right? Because we just want to increase prices on folks. And somebody said that's what I'm scared of. If you can say what you're scared of, because we can address the fear, but we got to be thinking about this stuff. We are building, our businesses are the solution to a problem somebody has. I don't care if you sell fried chicken, you are solving a hunger problem.
That's true.
So when you run up, when you got people paying you, so we had clients this year, and I'm gonna talk to you about my journey because I think it's important, right? I know that my overhead is increasing. I know that as I move away from the day-to-day services, right, that I need to move and do different things. I definitely need to be able to do those things. I see you to hire out and not afford it. There's some things that I said I didn't add in my payroll. My annual payroll right now, my payroll is $14,000 per month. So my annual payroll is about 150 or $60,000. I gotta make this money because I can't tell these people they can't get their check. So that means that yes, I don't feel good right now. Right? I tested positive for COVID this morning. I'm still up here. I'm still talking, right? Because I have a responsibility to the people who are lending their time to in the service of clients that I have brought in the service of a business that I started. Now, when this is over, I'm gonna go lay back down. Like, I'm not gonna be crazy, but I still have to show up because there's importance. I'm in the middle of launching a program, right? I couldn't decide, the email couldn't go out because I had a headache. So until 5 a.m., I figured out entrepreneur. Now I went to bed. After I did, I took a nap. So I'm not telling us to trade off self-care, but the idea is we're saying I'm not afraid that I'm not gonna pay people. My responsibility is to pay them. I'm not going to operate from a place of fear that I'm not going to hire somebody because I'm scared I may not pay them. I'm going to find the money. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to test it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to run it again. Some of y'all, and I know this is not going to be a popular thing, some of you have a profitable skill. You have a skill that you can actually leverage, whether it be a contractor role, whether it's a 9-to-5 job, and I'm not talking about driving a Lyft. You have a leverageable skill. You have something that you can do well where you can barter your time to bring in resources into the company. So if you have now gotten to a place where, wait, I now know my product market fit. I now know what I need, and I need to quickly move this stuff, and I need to run up this bag, and I now just can't be an expense on the company. Take yourself off of the company expense sheet and find a way to sustain yourself using your talent, skills, and abilities so that the business has a chance to grow. But we all out here throwing our jobs in the garbage and celebrating. I'm never going to celebrate you walking away from a job to a non-profitable business and being broker in all your freedom than you were when you were a slave to an employer. Right? When we think about strategic transitions, even, and this is all still team, because our teams are, the ability to grow team is negatively impacted by the decisions we make. There's a statistic that says that I think it's around 40-something% of Black-owned business owners mess up or in the ideation phase of their business. They're messing up the long game of their business in the ideation phase. So the decisions that we're making in the ideation phase of our business growth, when we're thinking about our businesses, the decisions that we're making in that space is causing our businesses to be stagnant because we're thinking too small. So if you're telling me that when I'm thinking about my business, the thoughts about my business or why my business is struggling in year 2, I got to think different. Right? So I'm not saying don't leave your job. I'm not saying that if you realize that your job, your business can triple or quadruple if you stop spending your 9 to 5 hours in service of something else. Absolutely. Make the transition. But I want you to think about something. If somebody said right now, and people ask this question, if your house caught on fire, what would you do? And I think, what would you grab? What would you do? I think there are 2 answers. For a person that is unprepared, they're going to say, I'm going to grab my wallet. I'm going to grab but for a person that's done the fire drills, they're going to grab a fire extinguisher and extinguish the fire. So many times we are running out of our jobs like something's on fire, grabbing, right? And being and looking like we grabbing items and pieces. Where's the fire extinguisher? Where's your strategy? Where does your preparation come in place to make sure that you can put the fire out and not lose everything? If you are looking to exit a job, exit it strategically. That means that maybe you may take a year to save up the money. That means that you pay off debt. That means that you stop shopping. That means that you join a business accelerator or a group or pay for an expert or a coach, somebody that's going to help you think about what you need to be thinking about. That means that you stop looking at your job through a certain lens and shift your lens to, wait a minute, this company, I work for billion-dollar organizations. They've clearly figured it out. So if I'm going to spend my last year on this job doing anything, I'm going to be looking at this business differently. How are they marketing? How are they running their meetings? What is the cadence? What are we talking about? Like, I'm going to look at it a different way. But instead, we just stop working. We on Facebook. We check out of the job for that last year. Our work quality declines. Think about it. You can't be in somebody else's business working half-assed, sorry for cussing, and then expect people to give you 100% when you decide to hire folks. You didn't earn that. You didn't sow that. So don't think you're going to reap in your business what you did not sow as an employee. You're not going to reap as an employer. So we got to think about that stuff from the beginning. There's a strategy to it. So if you at a point, I'm not telling everybody to go get jobs. Like, I want y'all to hear it for where you are. But do you have a leverageable skill? I can consult, I can train. There's no reason. Shoot, I can braid hair. There's never no reason for my business and my people in my company to go unpaid because I know how to make money. You know how to make money. You know how to barter your time for money. It may not be in your main thing, but you know how to make money. So you should never walk in a space of fear that I can't pay people. No, you figure it out. Leaders are self-aware, people-centered, strategic problem solvers. So the problem is, the issue I'm addressing is I need to know if I can pay people. You can make money. Some of us have skills that we don't want to do. I don't want to do makeup. I don't want to do hair. I don't want to do this. That's great that you don't want to do it. Then make sure that you don't do it forever. But if that is something that you can leverage your expertise to bring money into your business, why would you sit here and be broke and not pay people and not build your team, right? And not utilize the gifts and the talents that you have? Right? Another biblical reference, parable of the people. He gave them talents. The one that buried their talent, I can't get into the science of it, but somebody said, you a hard taskmaster. That person played it safe. That person wasn't willing to take that their master had given them a talent that was profitable and to believe enough to go out and exchange it and bring back increase. Instead, they buried it and handed it right back. Some of you are operating in so much fear that you're burying your talent, that you have other skill sets and abilities that can make you money at the drop of a dime, and you're burying your talents, operating in fear, talking about, I'm just going to give you back what you gave me. And what did he say to that person? Get away from me. You have to trust that your abilities are designed to make you to have you be profitable. We're given abilities. We should no talented person, no intelligent person, no person with a skill set should ever be poor. If you can sing, you should never be poor. If you can write, you should never be poor. If you can talk, you should never be poor. If you have an ability, you should never be poor. And we keep trying to do things in a cookie cutter way. I will be honest with y'all. I ain't doing cookie cutter. I am doing what is necessary for my business. So if I got to go get a job to take myself off of the expense line of my business so that my business can grow and flourish, trust and believe I'm going to go get that job, and ain't nobody going to make me feel bad about it at all. Because it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm gathering the resources that the thing that I'm building needs to grow. Stop letting folks tell you or shame you for doing what you need to do to get where you need to get. Stop letting folks sell you a dream about how they just did it this one way. When people will wait 10 years down the line and then they'll tell you the truth. People are not telling you the truth in real time. They're not telling you about the fact that while they send you emails, ain't nobody bought the offer. And they telling you only 3 left. All of them are left. Nobody bought it. Right? We don't, that's the marketing. That's the stuff that we do. People are not being honest. So stop looking at what everybody else is doing. What do you do well? Stop buying stuff because somebody else said they bought it. It worked for them. What are your tools? Another biblical reference. David did not use Saul's armor. Rocking a slingshot did not make sense when trying to fight a giant. Saul's armor and his stuff made sense, but it wasn't what David was used to. David had already perfected his own craft, taking care of sheep. driving off a lion, driving off a bit. It was what he was already confident in. Some of y'all are struggling in your businesses and can't grow your money and can't grow your team because you're working in an unconfident place of somebody else's process. Go back to your place of confidence or find it. And I know that this is not conventional. I'm sorry that this is not get a job description, post it on Indeed, do 3 interviews. Like, I'll come back for that one. That's not the stuff that's keeping us away. We are fearful. We are not operating in our genius zones. We are not being strategic. We are being reactive and not proactive. We are following everybody else's model for success. And they don't have it figured out yet. But we're following their model. And we're working in a place of total discomfort and non-confidence, wearing somebody else's armor when, even though it don't make sense, you confident with your rock and your slingshot. So throw your rock and your slingshot over and over again and perfect it. But you ain't got time to play around with somebody else's armor and it's too big for you and it's cumbersome and your self-esteem is getting low and now you stressed and you overwhelmed. You don't have time for that. Why? Because somebody is waiting on the transformation that you are bringing while you sitting around here battling your insecurities. And you're insecure because you're not working in your zone of genius. I presented this weekend at an event and everybody said to me, hands down, they said we was touch and go when you walked down the aisle. Because the crowd stood up. I was overwhelmed. I got my head. When I look back at the video, I literally walked the entire aisle with my head down, just trying to get through it because I was just trying to get through it. Got on the stage and somebody said to me, don't ever walk with your head down again. And I accepted and received it. But what everybody said was, but you got into talking and about 5 minutes in, because that's my zone. I'm never not confident in my zone. Now, to walk to the stage was scary, and to walk to my seat was scary, and I was nervous in the hallway. But in the moment that I was operating in my grace, in my zone, in the thing, right, that makes me feel good about myself, I strive there. If you are walking around always not confident, it could be that you are not giving yourself enough time to work in your zone of genius. So you're struggling because you never operating out of confidence, always out of fear. And you can't build a team that way, because you'll never believe that you can sustain them. You'll never believe that you're good enough. You'll always be questioning, am I going to be able to pay him next pay period or next pay period or next pay period? It's always going to be a question. This pay cycle, they messed up my payroll. Took the money out the account and people ain't get it. And my ops person hit me up and was like, we still got to pay people. So I paid my half a payroll that I was complaining about already. I paid that twice and I'm still waiting to put the money back in my account. So you know what? I still got to work this week. So, but it's not work when I'm doing my genius zone. So my whole responsibility is to build a team that, if I'm the center of the business, allows me to work in my genius zone. Right? Stop looking at everybody else and stop being so scared. Do what you know how to do. Build the business you intend to build. Know that it's going to be successful, but you got to figure out what success looks like and push forward. Price effectively. Do the work. Go to therapy if you need to, so that you're not a crabby boss, so that you're not the person looking at looking at for you hiring folks and they're young and you mad at their youth because you old. You mad at the fact that they want to have a baby because you ain't have one. I'm talking about my stuff, right? You gotta work through that stuff. If we're gonna hire teams, we gotta work through that stuff, right? That's the big part. If we're gonna hire and retain teams, and then you gotta believe, and I'm gonna pause here. You got to believe that there are literally people who want to connect with you, who want to connect with your vision, who want to serve. You have to believe that. Stop saying nobody want to work. When I hear people say that, it irks me. Why? Because you are discounting and you are giving yourself a narrative that's making your way harder. You need to get up every day acknowledging that there are people who want to work for you at the price that you are able to pay them. They see you. They see your vision, they believe in it, and they're waiting for you to find them. And so your work is to find them. Saying that nobody want to work gives you permission to just sit there and keep struggling. Own it. But go back through them steps. I know I'm going off on tangents, but I want us to feel there's more to it than this process stuff. If it was nothing more than just Indeed post a role and move on, everybody would have employees. Everybody would have flourishing teams if it was just about a job description, Indeed posting, and some interviewing skills. There's more to that. And you have to believe in what you are building enough to then say, I have to plan for its success. And building a team is part of that plan. So then what I got to do, I got to know who I need. I got to know that I'm going to be able to pay them. I got to be clear about how many hours they can work. And the last thing I'm going to say is you have to invest in what it is that you need to build an effective team. So if you sit there and do all this stuff and you like, I have no idea who I need, then you may have to go ahead and hire somebody to help you get ready to hire. If you like, I don't know if I can afford people, you may have to hire somebody to help you look at your numbers. If you like, I don't know if I'm ready to be a manager, you may have to hire somebody to coach you and get your mind right on how to lead somebody. So your first hire may not be the people doing the stuff. It may be the people helping you get ready for those people. Right? But all of that is part of the journey.
Definitely. And I think I speak for everybody because I'm looking at all the comments, right? That you have hit on the process that we've all had to go through. Some of us are still going through it. Some of us, are at the beginning of it or wherever we are. But like she said, like it's never too late to hit reset. It's never too late to go back and go, I didn't do that part good enough. Let me retract, figure this piece out before I move forward, right? Like, this is your business. You decide how it moves, when it moves, how fast it moves, how big it gets. Like, you make that decision. And I think another thing that spoke to me that I kept hearing you say is like, we didn't believe, right? Like, and there are people that literally want to work for us and with us and think that the pay that we want to pay is amazing, but we don't even believe that, right? Like, I can't even count how many interviews I've done recently in thumbprint, and people are like, oh my gosh, like, I love what you stand for, I love what you do, I had you on my list of people I wanted to work with. Wait, you had who on your list? Like, you gotta wait, we on a list? We exist on lists, right? And that's just because I didn't believe that we were actually doing and reaching and touching in ways that I didn't believe that I believed that we could, but I didn't believe that we were.
That's powerful. I can, but I don't believe that I am. So we keep making it that one day. No, today. You're impacting people today. I used to be caught off guard. I still am when people tell me, you on my wish list, you on my vision board. I had somebody tell me they did a whole, I'm not sure who it was. I'm trying to remember who it was, but it was like, I went through a whole program with they did one of those programs, those accelerated programs, and I'm gonna show you my sheet. Like, your name is on there, right? I still am humbled by it, but I'm also like coming into my space of like, nah, HR for the culture is gonna work. But I started with people telling me I would not be able to run a business that only supported Black people. We did $380,000 in 2021 supporting Black people. Literally we had a 6-month-old business at the top of 2021. So at our 18 month, our first full year, but only 18 months old, we did it. I didn't do it because I'm smarter than everybody else on this Zoom. I didn't do it because I have a better business model than everybody else. And I don't say those numbers to brag. What freed me was, and I did a live about it, it was like I stopped believing the lie. The lie that people told me was that Black women only wanted to spend money on bundles and bags. They wouldn't buy services. They wouldn't invest in their businesses. And you know what I said? I said, if they're not investing, there's a reason. So my job was to find out why. And then to talk to that. So the reason I talk the way I do and address the way I do, right? The way I engage the way I do is because I want our minds free. Because we can have what we want. We can have what we're willing to work for. There is no cap on our capacity. We are innovative. We are creative. We are capable. Everybody's trying to duplicate us. You got to realize there's a whole tanning industry. A whole industry. Folks trying to look like us. Cosmetics. You think about cosmetic surgery. right? You look about lip plumping and butt done and all that other stuff. Those things are happening. Full industries where we're looking at European standards of beauty and they're looking at our beauty and trying to mimic it. Think about it. We look at Angelina Jolie. Why does everybody look at? Because she got full lips. She got black girl lips. Nobody's saying it, but people are looking at us and we're sitting around not seeing our own value. Yeah. So when I stop believing the lie, there is a lie that you are telling yourself about your business. And whenever you tell yourself that lie, it gives you permission not to solve the problem. So if I believe that Black women just don't want to pay me, it gives me permission. It makes it their responsibility. And it gives me permission to not have to figure it out. The moment I said that's a lie, it's my job to figure out how to get them to the transformation they need and to get them to trust me enough to exchange their resources for that transformation. That became my work. And I ain't figured it all out. Some of y'all still won't pay me. But the truth of the matter is, as long as you believe the lie, I'm awkward. I'm awkward. Don't nobody want to work with me. Yeah, you are awkward, but somebody want to work with you. I can't be my authentic self. I got to follow somebody else's blueprint. Nobody will pay me for this. Let me tell you something. I had a conversation with my friend just now. I sat in a conference this weekend. I'm being very transparent. And I know we at the hour. I don't want to keep talking. But I was at a conference this weekend. And backstory is I presented about team. In the chat of the conference, everybody's asking about team, who to hire next, blah, blah, blah. It's going all through the chat. Everybody's going in. So somebody hits me up and says, you need to put something together for these folks. And I'm like, okay. I stay up all night putting it together, organizing. I put a post up about it. I'm pulling on people. They helping me with it. I mapped it out. It was supposed to be an 8-week program. I reduced it back to a 4-week program. I want to get people immediate transformation. I'm adding templates. I'm doing live Q&As. I did all that stuff. I sent that email out. People were asking me, how do I get on the list? I'm running it to my list. How do I get on the list? How do I get it? People were asking me. Everything looked like everybody was going to grab it. That thing is sitting there. Ain't nobody bought nothing yet. Right? I can let that be they don't want it. The offer's wrong? No. I haven't seeded enough. I haven't talked to the right people. Maybe I need to do another live. Maybe it's a webinar. I know that I saw that people had the question. Right? And I'm not going to make it cheaper. So that's out of the question. I'm not going to use price as a way to bring you in. You know why? Because when you don't pay me, then you don't pay other people either. When you don't pay me, you don't turn around and say, shoot, I just paid for that. I got to go. Right? So I'm not making it cheaper because I'm not diminishing the value of it. Right? I'm not giving you cheap quality, so you ain't going to give me $2. I've just decided I'll do it not at all before I'll do it cheap. That's just what I've decided. Right? Because I'm a give. But I could be sitting here salty. I could be like, Jennifer, I ain't doing this because they're like, no, it's figure it out. And if nobody goes by this round, it'll come again. But it will be a thing because I know the need is there. It's my job to find the fit. It's my job to keep sending the emails. It's my job to keep seeding. It's my job to keep showing up. Some of us have thrown something away because we launched it and in 24 hours it didn't sell out. Why didn't it sell out? Did you have the right community? Did you convey the information correctly? Was the pay? Hold yourself accountable, not to just saying people don't want it, people cheap, people don't value nothing, they don't want to spend no money. That's a lie. And when you do that, you don't hold yourself accountable. You don't hold yourself accountable to figuring it out, and you are capable of figuring it out. But I'm not going to be discouraged about it because why? I know my model works. Why? Because I've been paid before. And I only need one person to pay me. I just got to find more of them ones. Some of us are looking at other people's success and you don't know what it cost them. You don't know the iceberg underneath the ocean that got them there. You don't know what barters they have made. You don't know what integrity they have given up. Build your stuff. So I know y'all think every time I launch something it's gold. Ciao, bye. I've been sitting here waiting for Stripe to go up all morning. Just somebody called me like, any conversions? Nope. Just sitting here waiting for the thing to chime off. What I'm gonna do? Pack it up and go away? No. We'll figure it out. And guess what? The folks that ain't pay this round will just pay more for it later when other people buy it. That's all I can give y'all. But I'm not going to shrink or be defined by the fact that somebody didn't buy something. You have to do the same thing. If somebody didn't buy it at that round, okay, figure out why. Because at the end of the day, you're building a business and you need the revenue to build your team and you need your team to serve more people. Like, it's still got to happen. Solve the problem. Right? Figure it out. Owe it to yourself. Substance of things hoped for. Evidence of things not seen. Make it so tangible to you. So real to you, like see it, taste it, smell it, to the point where you cannot give up on it. And then you figure it out. Right? Go back and ask the question. People ain't buy. Trust and believe. Nobody buy it. I'm tagging all them people that said send me the link. And I'm going to ask them what happened. I'm not going to press them. Help me understand what happened. Oh, it costs too much. You're not my avatar. Understood. Or it costs too much. I didn't share the value well enough. How do I share the value? How do I make it more real to you? That's my work. It's not my work to catch an attitude and sulk. Because you still need a team. You still need to build this thing. You still need to build generational wealth. You still need to be able to be the person in your family. I shared this again where I was. I buried my mom. It's now been 14 days. Right? 2 weeks ago, I buried my mom. 3.5 weeks ago, she passed away. When it came time to pay for the funeral, the finance company would not finance us because the insurance company was taking too long to certify the claim. I still don't know what the insurance policy has in it because they have to verify it. She got buried, though. She had a service. She was in a casket. She had a plot. It happened. Why? Because I had to be the one, right? In that moment, I was the one. I'm not always the one in my family. In this moment, I was the one. We have to be the ones at times. So what if I've been sitting around in 2020 talking about Black women I want to support the Black women community, but they don't want me. What would have happened? What would have happened if I didn't have a team in this moment? I'm grieving and I got COVID. What would I be doing in this moment? I wouldn't be able to be on here talking to y'all. I'd be somewhere trying to figure out how to be. That is the part. Own these failures. Andrea's on here. Andrea joined one of my memberships. The membership did not work because I did not have the right infrastructure around it. I went ahead and told them, I can't do this membership. I got to revamp it. I got to rethink it. I was honest. They gave me grace. She on here now supporting me. Andrea Burnett, still on here. She not shading me. She ain't throw me in the garbage. She held me accountable. Says, I don't feel like I'm getting what I should be getting. I had to acknowledge I'm struggling to give it to you. So we on the same wave. How do we fix this? That program will launch. I just have to get it correct. I don't want to sit here and sell y'all that because I'm telling y'all 6 figures in 6 months and all this stuff, that it's all been amazing. It has not. I've had to give refunds. I've had to go back and it's part of the journey. But I believe in what I'm doing so much that I'm not going to shrivel up over this stuff. It's still got to get done. Why? Because I believe that part of my destiny is connected to helping this community. It is my mission, is my passion. I live to do this work. So I can't let discouragement put me in a corner. Figure it out. We have to figure it out. Asia's on here. She will tell y'all. Payroll be payrolling. She's my operations person. I be stressed. She be like, go to bed. I can't sleep if I don't know where it's coming from, but I believe in my ability to create it. I want everybody on here to believe that you can create wealth. You can generate money. Money is not a barrier. Money is not going to keep you away. It's not the thing that's going to exclude you. You will find it. You will figure it out. And you're going to be able to build the team that you need. Why? Because there's more connected to you being successful than there is connected to your failure. We think that people are sitting around rooting for our failure. No, people are rooting for our success. People need to see us win. That's when they talk about grit. That's what grit is. Keep pushing. If you could sell one, you could sell two. I talk about the VAs, and I'm going to pause here because we are way over time. But I talk about the VAs. That was our strategy. It was what I could afford. I only had $8 an hour. So I did that. I ain't going to tell her business, but I'm able to almost offer 6 figures to my operations person because I started with $8 an hour people. And guess what? When I could pay those $8 an hour people more, I did. There's weeks I didn't get paid. They did. And I drove Lyft, or I did a consult, or I did a training, right? Because I can take care of me, but I also have to take care of this business. You have to believe in your abilities and not be so fearful that it's going to fail that you don't even try. Y'all got to walk on water sometime. Your feet going to sink. Keep walking. Right? This is what you're called to. Even Jennifer, as you running this thumbprint, you're creating space and holding space for folks to talk about this stuff, right? You're holding space. This is you can't not win. It's not optional. Why? Because there's voice that only you can give to things that people on here need to hear. So the not win is not an option. The losing part is not an option. I see Letitia Curran, right? I know Andrea's on here. She runs a pet control business in Atlanta. I see her. She's literally saying, I want to build wealth. Like, I want to be able to think about, she's family centered. I'm looking at her mission. It's not just the job. People need to see our communities be able to do that stuff. So you can't just shrivel up. We talk about representation. That's more than them putting a black girl on a Dove ad. Woo. Representation is us owning our genius and deciding that we are going to win at all costs. Why? Because some little girl, some older woman, some middle-aged person, whoever it is, needs to see us winning so they can keep moving forward. It's not optional. So yeah, you're going to build a team. Yes, you're going to figure out these systems and processes. Yes, you're going to hit 6 figures. And if you don't, it's because you decided not to. But it's not because you're precluded from it. Do the work. Make it your mission to do it. Not, again, so you could go shopping. I like a good purse. But I want to empower other people. I don't want another black woman to have to feel like I felt in corporate. One of the ways I can combat that is to do a job. Don't make them feel that way. Have that mission and connect it, but you got to push. You got to push. I want everybody on here from this day forward. Don't ever give yourself permission again to say that it's for them, not me. It's for you too. You just got to figure out why it's for you. I am no better than anybody else. If I tell y'all my whole story, I should have been in jail. If I tell y'all my whole story, I should not have been able to go to law school. I should not be able to have credibility. So I didn't come from this button up thing. I messed up a lot. But I had destiny connected to me. So that stuff couldn't hold me unless I gave up. You can give up, then that's your choice. But we have stuff connected to there are people connected to this process for us, and we have to push through. I'm not saying push through and stroke out in the process. That's not what I'm saying. But take the moment, gather yourself, think about it, process it. I know in HR, I had a pending felony charge when I started in HR. And somebody looked at that information and gave me a chance. So yes, I want black folks employing black folks. Why? Because I know that if that black man did not give me an opportunity, I could not sit here and tell this story. Somebody had to see me. And they didn't see me. They would have looked at that charge and been like, nah, you're excluded. Somebody that looked at me was able to see this could have been my daughter. This could have been my niece and give me grace. And we all got a story like that. Or we know somebody, right? That's why we have to employ. It ain't about getting work off your desk. It ain't about sitting at the beach. Our community is behind. We have a responsibility to be profitable. We have a responsibility to bring impact and transformation. We have a responsibility to serve our community. It's a responsibility. Why? Because we cannot talk about generational wealth if we can't get gainful employment. And we have to take it seriously. So don't give yourself permission. Saying I'm scared is giving yourself permission. You scared? I respect that, sis. Now what? What we finna do?
What we finna do?
What we finna do? Right? Like, noted. That's reasonable that you're scared. It makes sense. Now what you finna do? That's what I want. Whenever you say that to yourself, I'm scared. I don't know. That's valid. That is valid. Now what you finna do? I'm sure I don't have no kids. I can only imagine pushing a human out of your body got to be scary. So you just gonna lock your knees? What you finna do? You just gonna be like, nah, you ain't coming out of here. What are you finna do? You did the big part. You started it. Keep it moving. Oh, I know Andrea accepted the responsibility. Her interview process, she talking about, like, I know that commitment. I have clients telling me, I only want to bring on Black folks. This is what I want to do. I want that. I hear it. I know y'all are committed. So let that commitment drive you. You can't tap out. So what's the strategy? What's the resource? And I'm going to say this. Some of it is an investment. Some of it is I got to pay to be where I need to be. I've paid into masterminds. I've paid for education. The event I was at this weekend, they said you need the way to mastery is become proficient. I want to be able to answer any HR question somebody throw at me. That is my responsibility to my craft. So you don't think I'm about to, so people talking about books, oh, them $7.99 books is cute. I'm gonna have to run me in some $100, $200, $300 textbooks to make sure that I know what I need to know. I need to hire quality people because I don't want them telling you something that they Google. Right? That's my responsibility. We got to think about that piece. Right? And that's what I want you guys to process. There's a responsibility. So you ain't got time to be shy and not go live. You ain't got time to be worried about, oh, I got to get my hair right for social media. If I stand up right now, I got on pajama bottoms. I took these things down. My edges are looking crazy. I just flung the braids on, so that's why I ain't got a bun up, put on earrings, and wash my face. Y'all are getting a shirt and pajama bottoms because I needed to show up. I'm going to get back in it. There's a bed. I'm getting back in that. When this is over, I don't feel great. There's a responsibility. Go live anyway. You don't like how you look? Then learn how to do your face. You don't like your hair? Invest in a wig. Draw you on some eyebrows. Pay for somebody to put on your lashes. Hey, put up a nice graphic of yourself and don't let us see your face and go live and just talk. But y'all got to stop hiding. Because meanwhile, folks with no value and no content and no experience is tearing TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram up, and you over here somewhere in the corner being humble and unpaid. And they copying other people's work and selling it as they own and running up the bag. And you over here curating amazing information and content and can't nobody see it.
You didn't have to step on those toes. You didn't have to
but that's how you're going to build a team. Everybody wants secret sauce. You can't build a team if you can't pay them. You can't pay them if you're not profitable. We ain't finna lowball each other.
I'm with you, Asia. I'm with you.
We ain't finna do this. I'm not finna ask people to give their heart and soul to my business for $40,000 a year. That's not what we finna do. Work 40 hours a week for a pickle and 2 sunflower seeds. That's not what we're gonna do. That's not gonna help us be profitable in our communities. Right? We becoming the employers we left. We left jobs because they weren't paying us our worth. Now we come over here and not pay people? How dare we? It's our responsibility to figure it out. That's all I got. That's all I got. So it's my responsibility. And Asia will tell you, I'm not lying. I'm glad that people that know me in real, that the people that work with me can come on here and not be like, Asia, no, I took myself off payroll and took on another responsibility because I needed to increase her salary and bring in another person. So I'm not telling y'all something that's up in the air. Every time I said the money was going to increase, it increased. It's my responsibility. Listen, if I got to twerk, they going to get paid. It's my response. That's how, and I ain't a good twerker, so that ain't my option, right? But I'm saying that's what it needs to be. So yes, Queen's Library hit me up and say, "Can you do this training?" Absolutely. Somebody else asked me, "Can I do a consult VIP day?" Yes, because it's my responsibility to generate revenue in this business. It is your job to make money for your business. Figure it out. Get quiet. Turn off the TV. Turn off the outside noise. Stop asking people who ain't never ran a successful business about your ideas. If you got to pay to be in community, stop acting like they charging me. Yeah, they charge you because they pay for their education. So yes, they're charging you. Stop begrudging them that. If you know that they got value for you, pay them gladly. I pay a 5-figure number every year gladly to be in the community I'm in. And I also then share with other people. I've had clients that I knew I can't serve you. You need to go to them. I've turned their money away and sent it to that community because that's what they needed. Because I'm invested. And you know what? I had one person that we did that with. She just got a grant. I got a discovery call with her tomorrow. She came back. Why would I take your money and I can't serve you because you need something else to be able to get to me? So I'm gonna point you to what you need. Figure it out. There is money out here. If Target can sell ironing water for $20 a bottle, and Gucci can sell virtual outfits in a pandemic for $5,000 and $6,000. Don't tell me money is not out here. People paid $5,000 and $6,000 for virtual outfits because they wanted to wear Gucci on their avatar. Please don't tell me there's not money out here to be made. And I'm gonna also tell y'all, some of your biggest breakthrough isn't gonna be in paying somebody else, because the moment you make an investment, it's gonna trigger you to operate differently. I bought into a mastermind that was between a 10 and 20. I ain't gonna tell y'all where it was, but it was not on the low end. $1,000. Paid it in full and put it up there. The next month we had a 5K month. You know why? Because I had skin in the game. Some of us don't got enough skin in the game. So I ain't gonna talk at y'all all day. I feel my health. I feel a little strong, right? But that's what that is. Like, I want us to win. So when people are putting things together, yeah, try it. Make sure, pay attention. Make sure that it's worth the value. But stop. I can't see me paying that. You can't see you building a business.
Woo.
Because you paid $60,000 for a degree that didn't teach you how to run a business at all. You paid $60,000 and $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 for degrees and student loans for people to turn around and only want to pay you $40,000 and $50,000. And you thought that made sense. But you won't pay nobody $10,000 for your business to be 6 figures. That's on you. Because student loans made sense. But a membership or paying for a training or paying for an intensive that's going to get you directly to the bag, that you need a counseling session for, stay where you at. Because you will proudly talk about those student loans. People will proudly brag about student loans while also not being willing to do the things to make their business grow. Don't make no sense. If your bag is more than your business annual revenue, you ain't doing it right. And when I see people talk about they've liquidated things, they've liquidated, gotten rid of all their stuff, downsized apartments, sold their houses. When you really want to build this, you don't care about living in a 1-bedroom because you're not trying to keep up appearances. You're trying to build a business. I did the event that I was at this weekend. People, where you get your outfits from? Fashion Nova. $20, $30, because I didn't have time to run up and spend a whole bunch of money on stuff to get on stage and impress people because I had to pay people. There's a responsibility. Do I ever buy nice things? Yes. But I didn't need a Gucci outfit to get on stage and talk to people about the transformation they needed in their businesses. I just needed to look camera ready. We're focusing on the wrong stuff. But people told me I wouldn't be credible if I wasn't walking around in Gucci and Louis Vuitton. As they told me, nobody would think I was successful if I didn't have a $5,000 and $6,000 bag. This is stuff that we believe. And it's the stuff that we do to each other. Right? Because we'll act like she can't really be making no money and she wearing regular Nikes. We do that to each other. No, maybe she is successful because she's not buying that stuff and making sure that the things that need to be tended to are tended to. Right? We have to shift our mind. So yes, go ahead and write the job description. Post it on Indeed. Schedule your interviews. That stuff too. But that's not why. If that was all it took, we would all have 90,000 people working for us. It starts with understanding who we are, pricing effectively, being intentional that we're not going to lowball ourselves and then as a result lowball others. Right? That we're not just trying to be wealthy, we're trying to create community wealth, not just be wealthy. Two different things. That we're not going to perpetuate poverty in our communities under the guise of empowerment, because we're not charging effectively, we're not honing our crafts, we're not operating in excellence, and we're paying people low wages and they living in poverty to work for us. We're not going to do that. We are responsible to create the environment we want people to be in. And if you don't want to do that, then just be self-employed. Right? We got to commit to doing this thing the right way. I'm done. I'm not going to say no more because this is an hour and 25 minutes. I should not even be talking this long. So let me drink this water.
I think I'm going to have to do a whole live on just be self-employed and not build a business, because that's a whole conversation people need to have realistically with themselves. But I just have to tell y'all, like, I'm one of those people that when I ask people to come on, and do lives with me, these kinds of things, like, I don't send them a list of questions, and people sometimes are like, what am I supposed to say? And I'm like, no, because this is what happens. What's supposed to be said will be said. What needs to be said will be said. Why? Because I'm gonna let, for those of y'all who don't subscribe to the belief, just cover your ears for a quick second, right? But I'm gonna let the Holy Spirit do what the Holy Spirit needs to do, right? Number one, that's what we're gonna let do. And number two, I don't ask anybody to come play with me that I don't fully trust and believe knows their shit. Like, she could have gave you the job description, posted on Indeed, and then this is how you interview. She could have gave you all of that. And we need that, right? She will give you all of that when it's time for you to get all that. But what we need more than anything is all of this. We need to get out the way. We need to fix what we need to fix within ourselves and build that team to do what we said we wanted to do. Because we can't do it by ourselves. Like, we just cannot do it. So I am just so grateful that Joy showed up in spite of, right? Because that COVID thing is real. Coming off the stage is real. Grief is real. And she got all of that going on. But she still showed up to give this. Forget y'all, she gave it to me. She did this just for me. I'm glad y'all got to participate and watch and play along, but this was all for me. And that's really how I look at it. I don't want nothing on Thumbprint's platform that I don't need to hear, because I want to make me better. I want to make us better. And I'll just share it with y'all. Y'all can just benefit from that just a little bit. But thank you so much, Joy, for this. Like, I totally appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Let's drop the link to your course, because I know that there's some people that are watching and are like, but I'm not on the list and I want to click. I want to make her stripe go off.
Here's the thing, right? So we're doing, like I said, I went to this event. People were asking, who do I hire next? How do I know who they are? What do we do? And I've leaned into training and really helping people reframe their mindset around certain things. That is my jam. It's what I do the best. So I literally stayed up putting together this program. Now I'm going to tell y'all right now, it is a $900 4-week program. It's not $497. It's not $297. I understand that that's not everybody's price point, but that's where we at, right? I would love 30 people to be in this training, right? And anybody that's been on the training with me, I stay on, I serve, I answer the questions, I walk through the templates. You gonna get what you supposed to have. I'm gonna answer every question. We can run out of time. I'm gonna stay on and answer the questions. But I want to be able to serve in a way where I don't feel undervalued, where I'm not serving begrudgingly. And $297 for 4 weeks, right? For 3 hours at a time, 2 to 3 hours at a time of my time, that ain't gonna make me feel good. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. So I'd rather not do it than do it cheap. That is my mantra in 2022, right? So that is the link. If it ain't for you, here's the ask that I have. Share it. If you sat on here and you got some value, if it's not for you, if it's not your price point, if it's not your jam at this moment, right? I respect that. You know somebody else that's ready to build a team. You know somebody else that will spend $900 on dinner. I've gone out to dinner with groups of people and the check been $900, right? So I know, and that's not everybody, but I know that there are some. Please share it. Why? Because we need to do this, right? That's what I asked. If it ain't for you, so I'm not shaming nobody that thinks your price point, right? And I'm not even going to hard push. That is what it is. We're going to be going for 4 weeks, and I'll just really quickly run through. It's a 4-week program. It was supposed to be 8 weeks. I reduced it to 4 weeks because I want people to get transformation as fast as possible. Right? We're going to go through our 4 stages of what it is to really craft and refine. We go through our signature framework that we use in our business, that I use. I've taught it. I've challenged on it. We're going to walk through it. You're going to get the template you need to implement immediately. So we're going to do workshopping on it during the actual time. There will be actual open Q&A where you can ask me the questions. If it's not covered, ask. We're going to walk through that. And then we're actually going to if you're ready to post your role when it's over, we're going to post the role for you because I want you to get to implementation. We're going to post it for you for 30 days for free on our platform. Now, I'm not guaranteeing you that you're going to find 8 billion people in there. I'm telling you, we're going to help you reduce cost on the back end because you've invested. We're going to help you reduce cost by posting the role up there, right? I give what I'm supposed to give on the training. I can tell you that. Right? You're going to get what you're supposed to get. We're going to answer the questions and we're going to walk through the pieces because often what I see y'all doing on trainings, and the reason it's formatted this way, is you got a lot of notes and then you get off and now you're trying to look back at your notes and it's confusing. You're trying to figure out what am I supposed to do next? We're going to do the training piece and then we're going to workshop it. So every training you walking away with the things completed and then we're going to Q&A it. Right? So I'm willing to invest 2 to 3 hours on each of those weeks to really sit and do the training, walk through the concept, work through the templates, fill them out, go over them, workshop it, talk through, and then do the Q&A to make sure you good for the week. And then we're going to come back next week for 4 weeks, and we're going to do that to the point where you are ready to post your role. You're going to know who to hire. You're going to know where to find them. You're going to know how to attract them. You're going to know how to talk to them, interview them. We're going to go through all of that stuff in this 4-week thing. It's 14 was 19 and change, right? We did a 50% coupon. So it's $19.97, 50% off. So it ends up being like $9.80 or something of that nature. And if you don't buy it by Friday, you ain't buying it because I'm not leaving the card open forever, right? Because I need to know that we can actually get it rolled out. So it's open between now and Friday. I'm only taking 30 people. And that's literally honest. So if we run out of seats before that, if we don't run out of seats, then you'll be on there and you might get your own personal one if you're the only one. I ain't going to sell you no dream. If only one person buy it, that person going to get the most intensive they have ever had with me one-on-one, right? What I'm saying is if you need it, if you want ready to do the work, make the investment in building your team, right? If you have it. And when I say if you have it, it's not if it's laying around. Even if it's a sacrifice, do it because it's necessary to build your team effectively, okay? Outside of that, if it ain't you, share it. If you don't mind sharing it on your timeline. Matter of fact, share this live if you can on your timelines in different spaces. Support, right? Support the thumbprint. Support this space, right? Because sometimes we take and we walk away, but we don't give back. We don't pour back. Support the space, right? If you're hearing people in our community doing something that's worthy, even if it ain't for you, share it. If you ain't buying it, share it. Somebody is looking for it, right? The other week, I bought a bag from a Black designer. I love the bag. I'm not going to buy all her bags, but I shared it. Other people bought bags. She wrote me back and was like, thank you so much. Sent me an extra item, right? Share it. So if it don't work for you, if it's not for you in this season, that's fine. I ask that you share it. If it's for you, grab your ticket. Okay. Get in that room and we're going to make sure that we're going to go through it. We're going to set you up for success.
Click the link. Like, click the link. You already know. This is, you need it. I need it. We need it. Click the link and let's make this thing happen. Right. But thank you so much, Joy, again, for taking time and just blessing us with this wealth of knowledge. Like, right. Like, snatching all of our edges, stepping on all our toes like you like to do, but really getting us what we need to go into a space where we are ready to build a team. Because we are building profitable businesses. We ain't building businesses. Throw that one little sentence away. We are building profitable businesses from this point forward. So I thank you so much for that. For those that don't know, can you tell them where to connect with you at?
So all social media platforms, HR for the culture, or the Joy You Need. Both are spelled the exact same way. We're trying to drive traffic to actually our HR for the culture page. Excuse me. Over my personal page. So do both. They both have very different vibes. The Joy You Need is me being very transparent about life stuff. I have my transparent AF post. I'm talking my trash. People message me all the time. You subbing at me. I'm like, no, I ain't talking about you, but if it fit, right? That's that. Our HR for the culture page is more engaged. And then we have our Build a Dope team with Joy Pittman. I'm so excited that my sister has joined the team and she's been putting amazing content. I didn't know that I had a copywriter in my bloodline. She's been writing such amazing copy. I'm looking at this stuff, absolutely blown away. She's so thoughtful about crafting and so thoughtful about the voice. And so she's been putting in content. She's checking in, following up on folks. So join Build a Dope team. And if anybody's on from my team, if you can drop the link to the Facebook community. I want to ask you in this moment though, because you're platforming me and how can we support you? How can we support Thumbprint?
I mean, this is supporting me.
Okay.
Like this is supporting me. I mean, honestly and truly, we are the team that you have before you hire the team, right? Like keeping it real, like hiring a team, building your own team, it's a lot more than just paying people. It's a lot of mindset work. It's a lot of act right. You need to have a savings in your business, right? Not your personal savings, not that money you got tucked away for your rainy day, but a savings in your business. So like she said, when you need to pay payroll, you can pay payroll regardless of whatever's going on, right? And so we're the team in between that. And I was just talking to Precious, who's on our team the other day. I started this because I've been in business, right? And then I was struggling financially, and I was like, let me go be a VA. Let me go collect this little $12 an hour check, $15 an hour check. And in that process, I realized business owners are hiring VAs to run their whole business. From, can you redo my website? Can you create a logo? Can you do my social media? Can you answer my phones? And one, not several VAs, one VA. And I was like, oh, hell no. That ain't $12 an hour work. That ain't going to cut it. Right. But I understood that they didn't know who to hire. They didn't know how to hire. They weren't ready for the commitment of hiring, but they needed something in between. And that's why I created this thing, right? Because I want us to create Black businesses that are competing with Fortune 500 companies, right? We ain't just creating these little micro businesses. Oh, we made 6 figures. We good. No. Like she said, 8 figures, 9 figures, 10 figures. Let's run it up. Keep going. Right? And so you can only do that when you invest in your business and whatever that is that you need, whether that's the mastermind, right? Y'all know I'm a huge TSP mastermind supporter. Like, I'm shout it out from the rooftops, right? Whether that's hiring a real graphic designer to make your logo, your product packaging, your website, because that other issue you got is trash, right? Whether that's hiring people who actually know how to market your business. Not, oh yeah, they got my social media. Is it converting? Like some of y'all be swearing, well, I don't have no new lights, no, but you make more money. So what are we really talking about? Right? And we also can step in and let you know, like, okay, this is who you really need to hire, right? Like, let us stand in the gap, but let us help you build this thing out. Because the worst thing you can do is hire somebody and not have your SOPs, not have a clear job description, and think they just gonna come in here and do everything, because they ain't. Ain't nobody gonna do it, right? So to me, this is support, because this is what I like. This is what they need, and this is all I want to do is give them what they need at the end of the day. So I see we got all the links dropped in the chat for LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, the group. Everything is in there. So,
and shout out to my team. Asia Marie is our operations manager. Rajaleen is my exec assistant. I think my sister on here, but I don't think she logged in, so she might be the Facebook name. She texted me, so she's on here. Shout out to the team that tuned in and really supports and shows up. I love and appreciate y'all. I cannot do this without y'all. And I'm gonna say it openly, not just in secret on the Zoom calls. I need y'all to do this. Y'all can't go nowhere. Okay. Be very clear. Okay. But I have an amazing team. I mean, I hope that I give them a reason to show up every day, right? That I'm as amazing to them as they are to me. That's my goal. So thank y'all for doing what y'all do. And yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna go get in bed.
We're gonna let you go get in bed. I want to invite everybody who is here to join us next Monday, because we have 2 more HR pros who are gonna hop in, and I don't even know what they're gonna say, because clearly folks show up and say what needs to be said. So you might want to show back up and get what you need. But until then, until next time, it's her, she, me, your girl, Miss Jennifer Pink. And this is Thumbprint Collective. And we are unapologetically doing it for the culture, y'all. All right. Bye-bye.